Kyrgyz military during the conflict in the border with Tajikistan opened fire to the Tajik civilians, and while ambulance was carrying the injured people, Kyrgyz soldiers shot the ambulance car, and 6 civilians who were inside the ambulance car were killed. This action of Kyrgyz soldiers doesn't suit any international law and even doesn't suit any humanitarian law. It is just breaking of Protocol 1 additional to the 1949 Geneva Conventions.
Kyrgyz side attacked inhumanly using heavy weapons and arms towards schools of Ovchikalacha, Histevars, Chorku, Varokh in Bobojon, Gafurov district and Isfara city. As a result, a lot of local citizens were injured and killed. Therefore, we appeal to United Nations and other related international organizations to assess honestly.
Attacks by the side of Kyrgyzstan and aggression towards Tajik nation show the inhumanity and barbarism. As a result, school number 40 and then school number 5 in village of Histevars and a school in Isfara city during armed attacks were fully and partly damaged. Children and teaching staff had to leave the places of battle, and some of them were innocently killed and injured, and even serving ambulance was bombed by the unmanned aircraft vehicle in which were injured family members and a pregnant woman. It indicates one more time the inhumanity behavior of Kyrgyzstan. We appeal to the General Secretary of the United Nations, the Human Rights Committee of the United Nations, to the Administration of Global Human Rights Organizations, to the Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe, to fake news, mass news, and entire world to assess the acts of Kyrgyzstan.
What did the war give us? Sobirov Ahmadjon, he wanted to study and grow, but it's very pity he was killed by the military of Kyrgyz. Tajik people asked OSCE to consider his matter.
Asmoa was only 6 years old. What achieved Kyrgyz military taking out the life of innocent little girl? We, the people all over Tajikistan, ask United Nations to make fair conclusion.
It's very difficult to ask about a small boy Imran. What is his fault that he was killed by the military of Kyrgyzstan? What we citizens of Tajikistan ask from OSCE and United Nations to review this situation and give legal assessment.
During the military operation by Kyrgyzstan, which is obviously a planned action, the homes of peaceful citizens of Tajikistan were targeted, which resulted in destruction of 100 residential buildings of Histevars and of Chikalacha of Bobojon Gafurov, Vorukh, Chorku, Khujay Allah of Isfara. We require United Nations and other international organizations to give legal assessment to these events.
In addition to many killings, attacks on the school and a mosque by Kyrgyzstan military forces, 2 pregnant women were killed intentionally. We request United Nations to determine and declare its position on these matters.
To the attention of United Nations, OSCE and other international organizations, we want to inform you that from Kyrgyzstan side during the violent activities against secondary schools in Ovchikalacha and Histevars regions of Bobojon Gafurov, Chorku, Vorokh, Khujay Allah of Isfara have resulted in death and injuries of many children. We request international organizations to give legal assessment to the activity of Kyrgyz military forces.